I want to talk about some of the small things, that you love, and sometimes you find out that you must let go of them. For example, I noticed that while I was doing one of my puzzles and using one of my favorite pens, it was running out of ink. Now, this is the second time that it's run out of ink. And do you know that I thought, well, let me open it. And, I'm opening it and I'm just gonna excuse my nails. They've got to be done. And there was at least this much more ink in there when I discovered it the first time. And so by manipulating it, it loosened up the ink. All right, so it happened a second time. And when I did it the second time, I started thinking, how many times in the past have I thrown these away? I love these purple pens. I usually write with blue ink or black ink, but I really love these. But how many have I thrown away in the past just because it seemed like there was no more ink in there? And of course, by me taking the inkwell out, it started writing again. And do you know I was excited? Yes, I was. The reason I want to tell you about that and also compare it, to other things that I use that I love, like my tarot cards that I use, and you see the little bit of white that's on there, they're worn. And this is one of my favorite decks. And I start feeling some type of way because I'm like, I don't want to keep, they're, the frayed edges and, how's that going to look? But when you use something you love, yeah, it's going to be worn. And I specifically picked up this one, the Wheel of Fortune, for this video because I also wanted to, talk about, things in our lives that are broken, things in our lives that we don't use very often. Now, things are broken and unused. We do want to regularly get used to taking those things out of our lives and, sharing them with others, your trash may be someone else's treasure. I know you've heard that before. Now, when it comes to broken things and things that are not used, sometimes we kind of feel a little broken when we wake up in the morning. We might not be too excited about getting out of bed. I don't want to seem like I am missing that fact that not everyone is super joyous and happy. Every time I do one of my videos, I am aware. I'm very aware of that. My goal is to share with you, some of these tips and things that you can do when you wake up in the morning. Because I did another video, that I have, on Facebook where I talked about my cat. Yes. When I wake up in the morning, yeah, sometimes I'm like, oh, wow, do I want to get up today? And of course, my cat is like walking on my pillow. And so, yeah, I got to get up. And for those of you, who are struggling out there, I understand. I really do understand. I am a veteran. I served 20 years in the Army. I had my days as well. Yeah, I retired in 2020. So when you wake up in the morning, just take a moment, take in a couple breaths in, take a couple breaths out, and try to think of, those things that I mentioned, your favorite things like the purple pen, that I was thinking of that really makes me happy. My favorite card decks that make me happy. If it is, your favorite, snack, that you're able to find at the store. The smallest thing can make the biggest difference. The smallest thing can make the difference in how you start your day and also how you end your day. All right? So, and just remember, it's all about the perspective. It's all about perspective and how you look at things in your life. Change your reality, change your consciousness. Now, when you are feeling down, it is very important that you take the time to acknowledge it. If you're feeling sad, sit with that for a moment and figure out where is it coming from, because it will not do you any good to just pack it down and ignore it. You want to acknowledge it, see where it's coming from, don't linger in it, and release it and let it go. Because right now, the end of 2024 and the beginning of 2025 is becoming the perfect time to release all these things that have been keeping you down and making you feel heavy. You want to release all those things, because next year, if you start looking forward to all the amazing things that you want to come into your life and release all those blockages of the things that you've been holding in, you're making space for those things to finally come to you. All right, we'll talk more on this later. Thank you so much for listening. Like and subscribe. Check out my other videos and have a wonderful day. Bye.